And then that's when, think of how humiliating this is. That's when, okay? Because apparently you've been sucking your gut in the whole time. That's when you take the seat reserves, like you lift the armrest and then you breathe out and you let your gut then travel into the next seat. And then everybody goes, oh, that's what it was for. What a humiliating process. What a humiliating process for the Southwest customer of size. You have to get on the plane and put a little piece of paper that says, hi, I'm a fat fuck, next to you. The seat is reserved. And now everybody around you is going to be like, who is it reserved for? But, and then everybody will just eventually assume they're like, oh, he's the guy, he's fat. He's fat, he gets the extra seat for free. He gets the extra seat for free. Soon it will be a row. Soon it will be a row. Because 2 seats, for a lot of people on airplanes, 2 seats are not enough. No, be honest, they need a row. There will be a point when there are 13 people on a plane going from New York to Phoenix. And they all pay $8,000 for a ticket. Or the government will start subsidizing. The airline's going to go to the government and go, we're putting fat people, we're losing money, and the government's going to have to give the airlines money. The airlines are going to go, the people are too fat, our profit model is getting all fucked up because people are too fat to be in the seats. And the government's going to have a choice. They can stop poisoning the food. They can stop allowing corporations to poison all the food. But they're not going to do that. So they're just going to shut the airlines up. They're going to go, here, take a little bit. Here's a little money. Because now you're losing 30% of your seats. You'll get to a Southwest. You'll eventually walk onto a Southwest flight. And there'll be 1 seat in every row that has that thing. That says, this is reserved. For what? My gut. My gunt. It's reserved for my gunt. And then I just love the idea of like you're on the runway, the boarding door has now been closed. And you're just sitting there and you're like, all right. And you pick that up. What would be really funny is if you put your food there. If you put a bag of McDonald's on the seat on top of that reserved thing. You put a bag of McDonald's on the seat and then just open it then just you have your let your guns.
Oh God, no, don't do that.
It's reserved for my guns.
Do you have any kids?
Do you not want my guns to breathe?
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
I don't know what's going on. I'm worried about the children. I'm worried about what we're creating in this country. I'm truly worried about this. I hope there's justice for this kid in Arizona. I hope that, North Korea figures out that the only people that are going to truly appreciate your dictatorship are Americans. The only people that are going to let you commit human rights abuses while they splash around a quiet pool are Americans. You need us. We need to come together on this. We will watch you publicly execute people and we won't say a word. Just put a waffle machine in the lobby. We do not care. I'm telling you. We will say only positive things about your criminal justice system. Your military justice, whatever it is. We are on the road, timdillacomedy.com. We are on, and Taylor Lorenz, by the way, not going to her Christmas for the 4th time in a row because of COVID. By the way, starting to like her.
You can sell this $5 spatula on Amazon and compete with hundreds of other spatula sellers.
Where it should be. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show, being recorded the day that the Epstein names have leaked. And we're playing, I want to play a little clip here from the good people at NBC who are always, incredibly focused and focusing our attention exactly where it should be. And here we are, NBC News. This is how they're filtering the Epstein news for you.
I should mention none of this obviously suggest any wrongdoing by the former president, suggest that he was involved in a crime. It's merely talking about his connections to Epstein, something that has already, again, been out there, but he has obviously maintained his innocence and denied any wrongdoing as it relates to any abuse by people that Epstein exploited, Tom.
You know,
that interactions that Clinton...
God. No, thank God. The slander has to stop. And I thank God that NBC has the guts to come out and say, hey, just because the president was mentioned 50 times in the deposition of a victim of a human trafficker, just because he might have taken said human trafficker's plane 25 times or whatever, just because the human trafficker's best friend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was at the president's daughter's wedding. There is no wrongdoing. None of this suggests any wrongdoing by the president. It's very important that NBC and all the other news networks that we know and trust come out and first and foremost defend the honor of the man who's mentioned 50 times in the human trafficking docs. It's very important. Who will do it if not NBC? Who will do it? Who will come out and, rightly defend this man who is being maligned with such ugly talk, such ugly talk for no reason? None of this suggests any wrongdoing by the president. None of it. Play it again. Play the first couple of lines again. None of this.
Found, I should mention, none of this obviously suggests any wrongdoing by the former president, suggests that he was involved in a crime. It's
with
merely
the human trafficker, being on the plane of the human trafficker, having the human trafficker's friend at the wedding. None of it suggests any wrongdoing. None of it suggests any wrongdoing. It just happens. It just happens. Like Chris Matthews, who used to host Hardball until I don't even know what happened. I don't know why they threw him out. I don't think he even did anything. I don't know what he did. I think he made some inappropriate comment to a woman in an elevator. Whatever. Chris Matthews, his reaction to the Epstein thing was like, well, all of these politicians, they're broke and they need rides around the country, so some of them end up in these planes. And rich guys offer to fly them around. Yeah, this is, Chris Matthews came out and said, like, hey guys, the Clintons can't afford to charter their own plane, yet I can. Somehow I can charter a private plane if I want to go perform at Side Splitters in Tampa, but Bill and Hillary Clinton somehow can't afford a chartered plane, so they have to take the charity of Jeffrey Epstein. Chris Matthews goes, to get around for their professional and political reasons, they've become friends with the wrong frickin' people. And these people are frightening and they want something. They want the prestige of hanging around a politician. So that was Chris Matthews, again, somebody who works at NBC. That was his way of understanding it, is that it's a big 90s movie mix-up where you end up on a plane with a human trafficker at an island where they're having sex orgies with children. It's a big mix-up. You weren't supposed to be there. You just needed a ride. It was planes, trains, and automobiles starring the ex-president of the United States and a bunch of 15-year-olds. That's what it was. And anyone who thinks it's anything else, you're crazy, because none of this suggests any wrongdoing. Not one, not any of it. None of it. None of it. This is the level of gaslighting, and I hate that fucking word, but it is, but I will use it when it suits my purposes. And I will say that this is a level of gaslighting that is almost impressive. The news now has to tell you that your eyes and ears you're seeing the words and they're on the paper, but they have to then tell you that none of the words actually are any indication of what the words are supposed to mean. Like, for example, it would be like me handing you a menu and then walking over to your table a few minutes later and going, none of this is food. And you go, well, I don't understand. You go, well, it's just words on a paper. None of it suggests we have any of the food. You go, wait, but it's a menu saying you've got a steak and mashed potatoes. Yeah, but have you seen any of it? Well, no, I haven't walked back into the kitchen. Well, then it doesn't suggest that we have it. That's what they're saying. I mean, this is insane. These are the legal documents. These are legal documents. This isn't something people made up. This isn't like something people came up with on X to be cute. These are genuine legal documents released through the media. You know what I mean? They're not only being handed, it's not like the Twitter files. They're not being handed exclusively to a small group of journalists. These are a wide-ranging institutions are publishing these. The veracity is not in question. These are real documents. And how many times, find out how many times Clinton's mentioned. I believe it's 50.
Yeah, I think it's like 56 or 40.
Yeah, I believe it's 50 to 60 times that the president of the United States, the ex-president of the United States, the ex-CIA director, Ehud Barak, the ex-prime minister of Israel, all of these people were mentioned in the documents, but the media is now coming out and going, but by the way, none of them, this doesn't suggest that they did anything wrong. This just, it's just something that happens. They'll pin this whole thing on David Copperfield, by the way. He's going to jail. You will see David Copperfield perp walked. All of these billionaires they've mentioned, Dubin and Black, the Leon, the Apollo guy, and Glenn Dubin, they'll all be fine. The Clintons will be fine. Somehow David Copperfield, this creep fucking magician, that me and my dad, we watched him make a train disappear in the 90s. On television. It was kind of cool. Do you remember that?
I don't.
You were young, but he did a thing. He made a train disappear, and me and my father watched it. Maybe you could find it. And I like David Copperfield, but apparently, yeah, he made this train vanish. What year was this?
Looks like
Are we gonna get a YouTube strike for playing this?
it's a good